Yo, what's going on, guys? Today we're gonna do a video that we've been dying to make for a little bit. We've been talking about making it.
It feels right now.
And this is gonna be a Milwaukee Bucks video. After the blowout loss that they had to the Sacramento Kings yesterday, I think it's time, bro.
We were gonna do it, but then they started picking that up. They wanted to get winning streak, and then they lost to the Lakers while LeBron.
No, before that, remember they got blown out by the Warriors.
They got destroyed by the Warriors. We're mad about it. Then they lost to the Lakers. They almost lost to a Clippers team.
Yeah.
While Paul George and Kawhi, and then last night they go ahead and they get absolutely demolished by Sacramento Kings.
Yeah, they damn near lost to all 4 California teams. Just went on a horrible streak. I think this is a new low for them, and I think a problem that they've been having for a minute is more apparent now more than ever, which is they just look old as hell.
They look like they're not able to keep up with teams. Defense, man.
Especially a younger team like the Sacramento Kings.
That Lakers game in particular, even though it was the closest one, the way D'Lo was just getting to a spot so easily, he literally did the same floater over and over again. I'm like, boy, you guys gonna do something?
It's been years since this guy even got to 40. Last year, I remember everyone and I were talking and we were thinking about dropping this video. I was saying how the Milwaukee Bucks got to make a move because they're looking really old. Obviously, Drew Holiday's old, Chris Middleton's old, Brook Lopez is old. And when they made the Dame move, we kind of forgot about it because we thought that Dame was gonna make up for it. But they didn't really add pieces around Dame to make up for what he's deficient in, and that's defense.
And Dame's also not the youngest player.
Exactly.
Obviously, he still has years in him. Or at least we thought. Let's talk about Dame. That's the person
let's talk about Dame
a lot. I'm a big Dame fan. I was pretty excited for him when he got traded. But honestly, it's been a disappointment. He has not played like himself. He's having the worst year of his career as of late, without counting the year that he was injured. There's a lot of things that go to it. The main thing is that he's not getting the ball. We saw the game, not this last Clippers game, the game before that, when Kawhi and Paul George actually played and Giannis didn't. He dropped 40 points and he absolutely tore them up. It was looking like prime Damian Lillard. But in the other games with Giannis, it's just he doesn't even feel like the second star.
Yeah, and even a game like the All-Star game, obviously that's not as important of a game. But we saw him that he had the ball and we saw him look like himself. And that was just good to see because oh shit, Dame can still do it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're so used to seeing this Dame that he looks a bit passive. You damn near kind of, in a way, forget that he's even in Milwaukee.
And that feels like it's like Giannis and like a bunch of role players.
They keep saying like, oh, we figured it out. We finally we finally been able to hold each other more accountable. Like, oh, you get the ball more now. You get the ball more. They keep saying it, but they never do it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like they figure it out for like 2-3 games, and then it goes back to the problems, like being so blatant. And something else about Lillard, I think this is the bigger problem. I know he's being honest, but I don't like some of the quotes that he has made. He has made it as clear as possible that he does not really want to be there. He got forced to be there. He always talks about the city, that he doesn't feel right mentally. And like I said, Dame has always been an honest guy. He's not gonna hold back. Even like something as small as when they asked him who will be your starting lineup if you could pick, he didn't get Giannis, for example. It seemed like he hasn't really embraced it, and it's because like he did get forced to be on the team.
Something else that we got to move on to is another player on the team, another guy that we were looking forward to this year who got a big contract is Brook Lopez. Brook Lopez has looked super slow. He has not looked like the defender that he was. In the beginning of the season, he was blocking hella shots and stuff like that, but I think that it was because so many people were beating Dame and Malik Beasley to the paint that he was just being able to block.
We all know that blocks doesn't mean good defense.
I don't know. I feel like he hasn't had the maybe I'm wrong, but I just feel like he hasn't had the impact that we know of him having. And I actually saw some Bucks fans talk a little bit about how they kind of want Giannis to be to play center, especially down the stretch.
It's a bit crazy because last year he had a fantastic year.
Damn near an all-star, one of his best seasons in a minute.
He was looking insane last year, and this year has just not been the same. He is a 7-footer that's like 30. How old is he? Like 34, 35.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
He's getting up there, and the question that we're asking earlier, if they don't win this year, like it's only gonna get worse. It's only gonna go downhill. Brook Lopez has a right now $24 million per year contract. Well, it's 25 this year. Next year's gonna be 23. That's 2 years that you're committing a lot of money to him.
That's a lot of money, man.
And let's say you want to trade him next year.
I will say though, he will become an expiring contract next year, and a lot of teams like that. They don't mind taking on the money with that. But it's like, what are you gonna get in return?
Yeah, you're gonna have to give something up to be able to trade him. Which sucks considering how important he was last year, especially. I remember the playoffs against say he looked amazing, but it's not been the same. And talking about another bad contract, one that's actually even worse, Chris Middleton.
This might be the biggest reason why they've looked so bad. They're missing the third best player, man. It's starting to look like maybe re-signing him. I know he was a free agent, but I don't know if there's any way that you can do a sign and trade to maybe get Dame. I don't know how much more value Chris Middleton had than Drew Holiday. Maybe keeping him is looking like a big mistake.
it feels like ever since the 2021 finals, we just have not seen him. Like Chris Middleton, like disappeared.
He's super injury prone.
It's been the injuries are stacking up. You're kind of stuck with him until like for this year. The year after that, and he has a player option, which he's obviously gonna take.
No, it's $33 million.
The Drew Holiday point. Last year, Drew Holiday was clearly the second best player on that team. One of the biggest reasons that we got excited for the Dame trade is because we thought it gives Chris Middleton the option to be a third player, which is gonna get more open looks. But the fact that they've been missing that, they just have Dame and Giannis. Dame's not even looking like himself, so you kind of have Giannis with like a bunch of role players. You know?
What Drew Holiday did was defense, which fits more of that role player role than Dame.
Exactly.
Because you can't just put Dame in the corner or say, lock up, because he's just not gonna do that. You know what I'm saying?
Talking a bit about the other players, Malik Beasley, who we do gotta give him credit, he's been shooting the ball great. The season for him has been weird because at the beginning of the year they were talking about him, they were having him up as a defensive player, and he's just not. When they were going up against the Lakers, people were damn near like going at him, and then they got Patrick Beverley at the trade deadline, and Patrick Beverley has not been it. At this point, he's kind of done. Will you say that?
I think he's damn near overrated at this point.
Yeah.
Because what is he really at?
I think he's not the best shooter. Name, bro.
Yeah, I get you. To me, and he's been this for a few years now, he's more of the locker room guy. But I wouldn't necessarily say he's the type of guy that you can give minutes to. I think in a team like this, yeah, you need him. I don't even think he was that big of an upgrade on the floor from campaign. And the locker room, yes, I agree. I think he's a good leader, and I think he's good at getting everybody riled up and stuff like that. As a talent and as a defender, which is really what they needed, I don't know if he's that.
And then Jay Crowder, in another video we talked about how he was injured, and we're kind of waiting his return. But he has come back and played like ass.
No, he's played horrible. Yeah, against the Lakers, he was ass. A lot of the times they've been closing with Pat Connaughton over him just because he's really nothing at this point in his career. He's not a defender. Yeah. Obviously, he's gotten older.
Just came to my mind. They're kind of missing Grayson Allen. I think they
agree.
I think they kind of underrated how important it was. I know he was a good shooter. I always knew that, but like, wow, like
he's a good defender.
For
bro.
the Suns, bro, he has been lighting it up, bro. Talking about like 8 threes multiple times.
To me, he's a complete upgrade over Malik Beasley. Obviously, you had to trade him, make the contracts make sense.
Malik Beasley, if you're going to pick somebody up, he has been... there's nothing wrong. Malik Beasley has just been himself.
No, he hasn't done anything wrong. Honestly, he's damn near...
been put in the bad situation.
Exactly.
And then talking about the coach, bro. Doc Rivers, at this point, he's just a guy that... I think nobody trusted him. I think if you trust him at this point, you're blinding yourself. There was a whole discussion between Redick and Doc Rivers and people coming to his defense and people criticizing him. But at the end of the day, if you ask me, I know Adrian Griffin wasn't the best option. We think that they should have kept Mike Budenholzer from the beginning.
At this point. It's funny because we were fat on the, just fire him train. Quick tangent. My thing with Mike Budenholzer, it was just his stubbornness. But I feel like he was able to fix that over time, especially defensively. And I think it was we are talking about a guy that he is... Realistically, he is one of the best coaches of this generation. He's won a championship. Regular season wise,
60 win.
Exactly. We're talking about 2 coaches of the year and everything. So it's like one of those things. Like, he's such an accomplished coach. He's done so much for Milwaukee. He had the trust of the players. At the time that he was losing, Giannis was injured, and his brother had just died. I don't know if that was the best time to fire him.
Exactly. And another thing, I know that they didn't know they were gonna get Lillard, but I think so much change happening at once kind of threw things off. Adrian Griffin was put in a very
that was the problem with Adrian Griffin. I mean, they literally said it. It was the fact that he did not know he was coming into a team with Damian Lillard.
And then you get in Doc Rivers, who all he has done is complain about how tough this has been.
Honestly, I agree with JJ. I think he's pushing it, bro. Like, bro, you're there. Stop, yeah, exactly. It's like, bro, you're there. Do your job, bro. If you didn't want the job, bro, you didn't have to take it.
Bro, you were fine, bro.
But you didn't have to take the job, bro.
Some people are damn near criticizing for it. Leaving the contract that he had with ESPN and stuff, because he had it was ESPN.
He had a
ABC or
something like that. Yeah.
He had a television contract and left him in way to be a coach. People let it slide because obviously his main job was a coach. But let's get to the point. Right now, we're confidently saying both of us that they're not a contender. Like, they could always carry you because at the end of the day we're talking about Lillard and Giannis. It could still flip it around, but right now, bro, I don't see it.
I think they've gotten to a point where I had to agree, bro. Which sucks because coming into the season,
they're so excited, bro.
The more I see this team, the more I see them perform. They have so many holes, and honestly, it's one of those things like it only gets worse from here.
Yeah,
their players are only gonna get older. They don't have money, especially with the new CBA pulling up. So it's like, what are they gonna do? I gotta give credit to Giannis. Giannis has been himself. He's been great the whole season. No problems with Giannis, but it's like
Giannis getting to a stage of his career that if he wants to be an all-time player, he needs to win like right now. The funniest thing will be, bro, they get the 2nd seed, he get the 7th seed, and they lose once again. What will happen if they lose to Heat first round again? Like
nothing.
They're just gonna come back again.
They have to, bro. What are they gonna do? I think you have to give them 2 years. I think before something major happens, I think you gotta give it 2 years. I don't think Giannis is gonna request a trade this year.
Not yet.
If he's gonna request a trade, it'll be next year. If they lose, if the same thing happens 2 years in a row, whatever. A lot of teams, when they make big moves like this, they don't win immediately. So I don't think anything will happen. I just think that I don't know. Would they trade like Brook? Would they trade Chris? It depends how they look. I mean,
and the problem is that you can trade them, but you're not gonna get much back. So yeah, right now they're in a very tough situation.
Let's see that maybe if Drew Holiday, let's see if maybe when Chris Middleton comes back, they can look better. Maybe look more like contenders.
Well, that's pretty much gonna do it. Let us know you guys' thoughts on the team in the comments. Are they gonna bounce around? Are they gonna have another disappointing entry in the playoffs?
Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment down your thoughts in the comments below, and peace out.
Peace out.